Hi, welcome to this Game Dev Zone tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to show how a freelancer account applies to a job posted by a studio account. So this tutorial assumes that you have created a freelancer account and that account has been unlocked by admins and that you are ready to start looking for work. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go and find work. Click here and you will see a number of jobs listed. So I'm going to apply to this first one. So click here to view details and it will load up the job itself. Obviously, this is our tutorial job with all kinds of tutorial text on it. And right here is the apply button to apply to this particular job. This is a fixed rate job, which means that it is expected that either it's a single deliverable with just one payment or that it's going to be broken up into milestones, a relatively small number of them, with payment at each milestone that could be variable depending on the size of those milestones. And you can tell that because it says fixed rate right here. This is letting you know that it costs one slip to apply to this job. So we start you off with 20 slips, and then after those 20 slips are used up, you buy packs of slips to apply to jobs. And so yeah, let's click apply now. And boom, brings you to this window. And in this window, you can see name of the job. And the first thing you need to do is tell them how much money it will cost for you to do this job. So I'm going to bid that it will cost $125. And so you can see here that we give you a preview of the amount of our fees and of taxes that will be taken out. So for a $125 job, we're going to take a service fee of $12.50. We take 10%. And in this particular case, we're not charging sales tax, so there's no tax listed. And that means you will get $112.50 paid out to you at the end of the job. Normally, depending on where you're located, there will be sales tax, although if we don't have a nexus there, there may not yet be sales tax. Below that, you can set up what kind of how you want to break up this job. So you could either have it as a single fixed item if you're going to make one delivery and then get paid the full amount, or you could break it up into milestones. And in the milestones, here you can add additional milestones. Each milestone has its own price and its own description. So I'll go with $50, call this milestone 1. In here, you want to put as much detail as you can about exactly what it is that you're going to deliver to the studio. Specifically, you're going to be looking at things like files, any materials that you're going to deliver to them. And you also want to talk about how much iteration you expect to do, especially if you've got a multiple milestones set up where you could split up iteration over multiple milestones. But expect that there's going to be at least one or two feedback and iteration loops where you're going to deliver work. The studio is going to review that work and then want changes of one kind or another. There's always like a little bit of misunderstanding, and then basically reacting to those changes, and then in a future milestone potentially address those changes. So be detailed. I don't think it's possible to be too detailed. And so add a milestone, and then you can see I've now got a second milestone. So we'll set this guy at $100, which clearly these amounts are no longer related to the amount at the top. The amount at the top is for a fixed price job. So we'll call this milestone 2. And then be even more detailed. And so on and so forth. You can add as many milestones as you want, and the milestones are funded individually. So we collect money for the first milestone, you work the first milestone. Once that's approved, the money gets paid out to you, and we collect the money for the second milestone, and so on and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete these milestones because we don't need them. And I'm going to switch this guy over to the fixed price project, which is kind of the simpler approach where, again, you want to be as detailed as possible and enumerate out all of your deliverables, materials, again, iteration. But for the fixed price project, the expectation is there will be a single payment in and a single payment out. So they'll pay you at the end when you've delivered the finished product, but you would expect there to be communication back and forth. And as part of that product is going to be the iteration, the feedback loop, and so on. Here you want to add comments that will explain why you're a good fit for that job. So the first field is about deliverables. The second field is about your experience, your excitement about the game, that kind of thing. So if you've done the kind of work that they're looking for before, then you would want to put that here. I forget what this guy is. So we're looking for kit model. So Here might be where you would say something along the lines of, I've made many kitten models for the following games. And then you would list out the games that you've worked on, or you would explain that you're excited about kitten models, and again, like why you would be a good fit for that job. Um, cool. So once you're happy with this, you select or click Submit Bid Now,